Hey, he's still breathing, he's still breathing. All the hey, he's still breathing, he's still breathing.
I just passy. I just passy.
Hey, he's still breathing, he's still breathing.
Oh, yeah, come on, help the man.
Hey, hey, the man's still breathing, man.
Come on, help the man. Come on, help the man.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Real Talk. I'm your host, Saieed Ali, spiritual consultant and real estate businessman. For those of you that are having spiritual problems, feel free to contact me at 339-1670. Those of you who need counseling, you can also contact me, 339-1670. Those of you that have properties to sell or looking for a property to buy, you can also contact me. I want to say a special good night to you viewers of Real Talk in Trinidad and Tobago, of the Caribbean and around the globe. Those of you on Facebook, like and share our page as we go live. Real Talk with Saieed Ali. Those of you on YouTube, hit the bell and you will know when we go live. Now viewers, what you saw there was an incident that took place on Nelson Street today. And just to enforce the law with illegal firearm, our commissioner wants the 120 days amendment bill to be passed. He said it is a vital legislation and law in order to keep criminals, to keep a hold, to get a hold on illegal firearm in Trinidad. He is asking for this 120 days in Raymond. And I will also support this. I will also support this. So as we move along tonight, viewers, top story for today. 2 children aged 6 and 15 are currently being treated at the Port of Spain General Hospital after a shooting that took place in front of the Providence High School at around 3 p.m. earlier today. Reports are that a heavily tinted black Hyundai Tucson vehicle pulled alongside a white Hilux which was parked along the roadway and opened fire on the vehicle. The driver of the white Hilux managed to escape from the shooting. Residents said that the gunshot sounds like came from an automatic machine gun. The Minister of Education, Anthony Garcia, has expressed concern over the incident. Now, viewers, one of the legislations and the bill that I pushed forward was of illegal firearm. No bail, according to Stuart Young, who pushed for the bill also, after I spoke about it, no bail for illegal firearm users, and no bail for repeat offender of an illegal firearm. If you have any information about drugs and guns in your area, you see, I'm taking Real Talk to a different level now that I have got my bills passed. I have decided to move different. Now I could run down a bandit. Now I could do that. Why? Because when I run you down and I catch you, I am definitely sure you are going inside without coming outside. You see, as a person, don't do things as the old people would say, Vikey, Vikey. Not because the well springing water, I will just go and dip a bucket and take out water. No. I push for what I want. I push for a betterment of Trinidad and Tobago. I push for something that would cause a handle on crime in Trinidad. So now I can tell you, gunslingers and runners, I will be coming at you. Because I am definitely sure I will say it again. Once my team hold you, I am definitely sure you are going inside without coming outside. So I will support the Commissioner of Police, who is asking for 120 days. I will support that. And I would like the Minister of National Security to also support the Commissioner. And I would also like my good friend, the Attorney General, Mr. Faris Rawi, to pass that bill and law as soon as possible. As soon as possible. You want a hold on crime? You want a hold on illegal firearm? Don't sit down. You are the AG. If you have to work overnight with your staff, work overnight and pass it. Just imagine. Shooting took place in front of the school. In front of the school. It goes to show that the bandits don't care where you are. They will open fire in a massive crowd. Just imagine little children. Little children. And they didn't care. They didn't care. Even a teacher vehicle was shut up. They didn't care if you live or you die. We're coming for you and we are coming at you. So just imagine that. And if you are thinking like that, well, don't get vexed when I say I am coming at you. Because I am making a betterment. I am pushing for a betterment, not only for me and my children, but to better Trinidad and Tobago. So it will be safe for foreigners and citizens of Trinidad and Tobago. It's sad to know incidents like these happen around school areas where bandits show no mercy for the little children. Such a sad, sad incident. Switching gears a bit, viewers. But staying on the commissioner, no ticket, no chance. At the words of the Commissioner of Police, Mr. Gary Gifford, to the Venezuelan migrant who been seeking refuge in Trinidad and Tobago. Take a look at this video, viewers.
So come Friday, if there is like thousands of people here on the last day, in terms of registration, will it go into Saturday morning? What will they do? Cut off?
That would not be the call of the Commissioner of Police, but as I said, as it is right now, looking at the numbers that are here, and once we give them their trips and their numbers, it means that all will be facilitated between today, tomorrow, and Friday. And as I said, after that, if you don't have a ticket, you don't have a chance.
The Commissioner of Police. And I will also stand with him. I will also stand with him. Friday afternoon is the deadline. And I want to know, what are we going to do with all these immigrants that are here illegally, which our Minister of National Security is fully aware, because he was down there greeting them, buenos dias, But come tomorrow, I want to know what you are doing with these illegal immigrants in Trinidad. Our phone lines are open, 237-3135. Let me hear what you have to say. Let me hear what you have to say, viewers. Over 2,000 Venezuelan migrants showed up today at the Queen's Park Oval and also at the Achievers Banquet Hall, San Fernando Center this morning. National Security Minister Stuart Young said that everything is running smoothly and the Venezuelan registration process will end on Friday evening as scheduled. However, the human rights group Amnesty International have issued an open letter urging the government of Trinidad and Tobago to reconsider and extending the registration process to ensure that the Venezuelan nationals that are seeking refuge in Trinidad can get a chance. So viewers, what do you think about this? When we had the flood, I didn't see countries coming to help out, you know. The US came forward and our Prime Minister denied it. Now, when crime start escalating in Trinidad now, I wonder if Amnesty International will come forward and say send back the refugees. What Amnesty International should do. And I have asked for the death penalty to be reinstated. That is what I ask. You know why? So that murder, the rate for murder would drop in Trinidad and Tobago. That is what I am asking for. Is the human rights organization, are they willing to allow Trinidad and Tobago to start resuming hanging in Trinidad? Look at the amount of illegal immigrants. I want to know what Stuart Young will do. That is what I want to know. And I want to hear what the viewers will be saying about this. I want to know that. Now viewers, listen to this. More and more Venezuelans continue to arrive illegally here in Trinidad and Tobago via the Cedros area. On the line is Cedros Councillor Mr. Shankar Tilak Singh. Good evening, sir.
Good evening to your viewers.
Thank you for taking the time out to join us on Real Talk and to inform the citizens of Trinidad and Tobago about what is taking place. My question to you, sir, can you inform us as to what is happening in the Cedros area with the influx of Venezuelan migrants seeking refuge in Trinidad and Tobago?
Well, I would say firstly, we have a lot of Venezuelans coming in illegally through all the different remote points of the Southwest Peninsula.
Yes.
And that have become more visible since the minister had closed down the Cedros port for the Venezuelans that comes in legally, get the supplies and go back to their homeland. Since about 2 months ago, Minister Young verbally instructed the authorities who operate the port, Customs and Coast Guard, to stop the ferry that do transporting the passengers to and from Venezuela, causing some serious problems in terms of these migrants, these Venezuelans coming now illegally because they are desperate to get into this registration process. Their friends and family who are here is contacting them in Venezuela and telling them come across, and they are coming across wee hours of the morning my the fisher folks who do their night fishing, coming up to the beaches, surprisingly seeing loads of Venezuelans coming all 1, 2 o'clock in the morning from the water. So the boat is dropping them close to shore. And they now coming to the abandoned coconut estates and other remote areas and camping out till morning, and then getting transportation to the boat centers that are operating.
Wow. My next question to you. What step would you recommend that the government take to secure the border in Cedros?
Well, I have continued make the request to the both Minister of National Security, one present and before, which was the MP for Point Fortin, to have the 360 radar up and running and equip our coast men and women with the necessary equipment for our border patrol in the southwest peninsula before the Venezuelan issue came about, and we have illegal activities taking place on that borderline within the Caracas and Erin going up to Manjablo, and the other side which would have been Petrotrin oil fields. Those are areas we ask the ministry to concentrate on and have additional resources to be deployed in that area. Well, again, it went on deaf ears. We had in between 2015 to now, a lot of our fishermen were affected by piracy and other illegal stuff that continue to rampant this Gulf of Paria without any sort of a detection. We had our fishermen being shot at our shoreline,
yes,
and also being kidnapped and taken to Venezuela. With the deterioration of the situation in Venezuela and the migrants choose to come across, that by itself created another situation where I continue to call on the government to have international agencies come in to assist in terms of dealing with our refugee status. And both Minister Young and also Minister of the Attorney General said that there was not a crisis. Today we see what is happening and the crisis that we are in.
Now, Mr. Tilak Singh, from your knowledge and from being the councillor of that area of the Western Peninsula, can you put an average to the amount of Venezuelans enter the Western Peninsula on a daily basis?
Well, we will have a direct figure from the immigration department that operates the Cedros port when these ferries was coming in. We had a tally of almost 800, close to between 800 to 1,000 Venezuelans per week rotating through that port, right? When that stopped, you have that daily figure now coming in illegally, right? I would expect that figure, the Venezuelans that we have in Trinidad, as I would have, based on the figures that comes from the authorities, is in Trinidad at present, close to above 100,000.
Okay. Now, our Minister of Finance, Colin Imbert, I think he said the figure was probably, I guess, under 20,000, something like that.
Well, I would answer that question by, the knowledge of an individual who could only come up to 20,000. And real figures are based on what, just as he would have given us financial figures that are questionable.
Yes.
I am saying that probably his knowledge is only up to that level. Come down, and I always urge those individuals who are making the statement, come down on the floor.
True.
Reach the ground.
Yes.
And understand the problems in the community, and you will have a fair understanding of what is taking place in the Southwestern Peninsula.
Now, Mr. Sankar, you are a man on the ground, right? And this is something I just always say. As long as you are a minister or you are holding a position that will be able to help people, you have to be on the ground.
Correct.
Unless you are not on the ground, you cannot know what is taking place. Because sometimes, on many occasions, I have asked if the advisors to these ministers are giving them the correct figure. Right? I know personally, I know it's between 100 to probably 200,000 Venezuelans in Trinidad.
Correct. And you see, this point that I continue to make, this government has no clue in terms of how to manage this situation. right? And they are not taking the advice from the people in the communities and the people with the expertise. I mean, this is not something new to invent a policy. We have the situation in developed countries, right in the USA, today in Canada and in other parts of the world. And you know, you have to designate an area dealing with this Venezuelan situation, put the necessary infrastructure in place, having the migrants in a concentrated area, right, giving them all the basic amenities, bringing the international agency in for testing, for under the health and other testing that is required to avoid any outbreak of diseases or sickness that may be able to spread throughout your community that you have gained through our health sector, certain advancing in terms of protecting our citizens. Now, all of that is at risk at this point in time because you just choose to turn a blind eye based on recommendations that are coming from the communities to deal with the situation. And you have now a situation that is much more harder to manage. You are now trying to things in place and saying that it is working, but it is not working. Everything this government is doing is failing up to our security of our citizenry. Is being threatened at this point in time based on your non-performance and not so you are so high in your Eiffel Tower that you don't want to listen and have a discussion. I've called on the MP for Point Fortin and the Minister of National Security and the Minister of Foreign Affairs on many occasions to let's have a discussion and put a policy in place to deal with these migrants, and not one of them choose to contact my office.
Wow. Now, I'm just going to shift a little bit from the migrants. Now, Mr. Councillor, you are live on national television. The world is listening to you. Now, can you tell us what does the Saieed area needs? Like concerning roads, water, facilities, schools, health center. Can you tell the public what is actually needed at this point in time in the Saieed area?
Presently, immediately we need to have human resources deployed to our health centers and also medication deployed to our health centers, 24/7 ambulance service, a 24/7 doctor service in the Saieed district to deal with some of the conditions that we have at this point in time, to deal with the outbreak of malaria in the Carcass district that is being hid from the population, and other water and airborne disease, mosquito-borne disease that is now in the district. We have also the situation from the Ministry of Agriculture doing testings in the dairy and poultry industry that we have now. A lot of these animals are coming up illegally from in the Carcass district. Those are some of the things that immediately need to put in place. We need the 20 ambulance service and the fire station, a fire tender to immediately be placed in the district. Or just about 2 weeks ago, I passed a motion in the Sipara Regional Corporation for the establishment of a fire station. And in the interim, we know the economic situation the countries face. So we asked them in the interim to have a fire tender and an ambulance placed in the Saieed security complex together with our first responders in cases of emergency, in terms of our fishermen, in terms of our energy sector, and also in the immediate response to fire and other emergencies that we may have in the Saieed district. That Point Fortin now is suffering for a fire station and manpower, and also San Fernando and Siparia to respond to Carcass when there is a disaster or any type of emergency. It would be efficient to have that facility in the district for a quick response to save life, and human life and so on.
Mr. Sanka, I do want to thank you for taking the time out to talk with us on Real Talk so that the world will understand what is taking place in the Western Peninsula, that is the Saieed area, concerning what you need down there so that your area will be functional, and talking about the migrant situation that is taking place. I do want to thank you. Feel free to call us at any point in time to have an update or to give us an update on whatever it is that you need in your area, and I will gladly put it on air.
Thank you very much for the opportunity as we continue to work together to make our country a safe and a more productive sector. Thank you again.
Good night to you, to you, sir. Now, viewers, shifting from that, Prime Minister Dr. Keith Rowley met with the Cuban Minister of Foreign Affairs, Bruno Rodriguez, at the Diplomatic Center in St. Anne's, where they discussed ways to enhance mutual cooperation between the two countries. Call good night.
Very good night to you.
Go right ahead, sir.
And good night to the councillor. I know you're doing a good job. And I hope to Almighty God that he can get help. But you and I know no help going to help him. You see that man you're showing on the TV right now? That man is called Keith Rowley. He don't care about this country. Now, I have no problem that they bring in Venezuelans in this country. But they have a deadline with this Friday. And common sense could tell you that they should have closed off the border since last week.
Yes.
And all who here try and filter the people them if you want to help the people them. And when you don't do it again and you want to open the border again, it's up to you. You understand? But you see them don't have no sense. You hear Short Strong going yesterday and born Muso Garcias. You understand? And kissing babies. You understand? This man know what he's doing, boy. Let me tell you something. In the first place, the people that who come with the children, the little babies and so forth, they should try and give them a first preference. You understand? And help all the people them. Because you have children, innocent children there, is suffering, my brother. You understand? While people like Stuart Young and the ministers and them playing games. You understand? Me, I want to know about election and they bring them for that. Me, I have time for that. I have time for the people them that is creating. I want to tell you something, It's what I'm creating in this country. God help us come next year and give them a year from now. These people, and you don't know what kind of people come in this country.
True.
You don't know what kind of people come in our country. You know what kind of disease people come in with. You understand? You have nothing in place. You open a farm and let Lego and chicken instead of there. How it grow, how it live, and so it be, man. My question to you after Friday, what next? You understand? Where are people going? Which part them people going now?
Thank you, my friend.
Which part them people gonna get jobs?
Thank you, my friend, for calling. I do apologize for that. No, I'm going to tell you something. I was talking to an officer today. She is posted at the San Fernando area to manage this group of illegal immigrants. And she was telling me, she said, Saeed, they are pregnant women. They are babies. And they are sitting down by the roadside. Sitting down by the roadside. And no one is assisting these people. 2-year-old baby, 3-year-old baby, 1-year-old baby. A pregnant woman was injured and she had a cut. And she was treated in a manner like, boy, it's sad when she told me that. She did send some pictures, but we were pressed for time. We did not get time to load it up, but I will show you it tomorrow night. Caller, good night.
Very good evening to you, Mr. Saeed.
To you too, my friend.
Remember when, as a matter of fact, the mass migration still happening with the African countries and some Middle Eastern countries to all over Europe, Italy, France, whatnot, what have you.
Yes.
The foreign ministers met in a meeting and they decided, listen, we're going to have a quota system. All the European countries going to take a certain amount of people. When Rowley met with the Caribbean heads of government in the beginning of this impasse, how come he didn't suggest to them, oh, they didn't suggest that everybody would take a quota. Right? This process, this whole thing wasn't properly thought out. And they're spinning top about right now. They're talking about we have to be compassionate to our neighbors and whatnot. And yet still you have people lying down. Listen, when you really look at this whole scenario, people camping out on the pavement, lying on cardboard.
Yes.
Not a water, nothing, no security in the night, nothing. And this government talking about being compassionate. They didn't have a proper system in place. And the mistake, everybody know this. This is no news. The Minister of National Security made that big mistake when he said illegal as well as legal. They're going to register everybody. And the caller was correct. At that point, the border should be locked off. Now they're talking about loopholes and porous border. So you know the border porous. If you know your roof leaking, what are you going to do? And you're going to put flashbang?
True.
So if you know the porous, the border's porous, put something in place. So this thing going to bite this government and this nation so bad, eh? Sorry to say this. But I just don't know what's going to happen. All the best, Saeed. Saeed, continue doing the good work, boy. And thanks for giving people like me and the others a voice. Thank you.
Thank you, my friend. Now, I want to highlight some people, some companies that donated food stuff and drinks to the migrants while they were there camping out and sleeping night after night in order to get something to eat and drink. I want to thank Anand Low Price, his group of companies. I want to thank the Ashra Girls College, the Compassionate Christchurch. I want to thank Achievers. I want to thank the people who supported the Venezuelan immigrants while they were there at the Achievers Banquet Hall. This is just some of the names that the good officer have sent to me, and I have decided to say thanks to them. Now, I want you all to understand something. When we were in the flood last year, and 3/4 of Trinidad were flooded out, the citizens of Trinidad and Trinidad got together and supported our own. Now, I am against the illegal immigrants just coming in just like that, right? As long as you enter into a country illegally, it is wrong. These names that I just called were some of the names that contributed foodstuff, drinks to the immigrants, and I must say thanks because they did humanitarian work. When Trinidad was in the flood, outside countries, one country decided to support us with thousands of US to help the citizens, but our Prime Minister decided to say, no, we don't need help. We don't need help. So this is why I've decided to thank these people and them who contributed to the Venezuelan and them. I must say thanks to them. I had a team in the Greenville, in Kelly Village, in La Horquita last year doing humanitarian work. For 7 days straight, we did it. And just after that, I got sick for about 2 weeks. But nevertheless, we helped them out. What I want to say is that enough planning did not go into this thing. We have the Queen's Park. We have the Brian Lara. We have Skinner Park in San Fernando. The government spent how much money to finish the Brian Lara? It's an open stadium. Instead of having the people on the streets in Achievers Banquet Hall, why they didn't send them to the Brian Lara Stadium where it was safe and it was off the road. What happened to Port of Spain? What happened to Skinner Park? Open. How much money they want to spend to refurbish Skinner Park? Huh? You see, this is the issue that I am bringing to you. This is what I am bringing to you. Switching gears a bit, viewers. We have a call on line. Caller, good night. Hello?
Yes, Mr. Ali. If Venezuelan coming in every night and boatload and making the line longer and longer at all these registration places, soon the entire Venezuela will be in these two little islands, Trinidad and Tobago.
34 million.
You understand? So tell me, how are we going to deal with this, and where would Trinidadians run out the country? No, it have to have a stopping point somewhere. So tell Amnesty International, Trinidad and Tobago is a very small island. There's only so much we could take. Stop it tomorrow, Friday, and send them back Venezuela. They need to stay and fix their country. Right? Let them handle garden and things so they will eat food. That is what Trinidadians doing right now. Because Trinidadians suffering. They have a little backyard kitchen garden. We're pulling them out. You understand?
Yep.
This thing needs to stop Friday, and that is it. Send back the rest of them. The island is too small for that. The whole of Venezuela will be here soon. Thank you very much for your time, Mr. Ali.
Thank you, my friend. No, I am willing to buy a boat. The government gave out once a big contract. They didn't have no money. Tighten our belt. I tell them my belt didn't have hole again. I had to make hole. Tighten our belt. Hundreds of millions of dollars going in road contract. We can't have a good hospital. Schools cannot open. We can't get CDAP medicine. Right? Big contracts going on. And it's only road and a highway. What happened to the rest of the ministers? There are 41 ministers. Sub-minister, junior minister, backbench minister. How come we only hear about Rohan Sinanan? We only hear Stuart Young. We only hear Lahunt. We only hear Terence D.L. Singh. We only hear Anthony Garcia. What happened to the rest of ministers? How come their portfolio is not surfacing? Does the PNM only have 5 or 6 ministers alone? Well, then the UNC is supposed to be all over them. But just imagine 5 or 6 ministers have the UNC in a corner and they can't say nothing. I am willing to buy a boat. How much I spent on the red rusty piece of iron that was supposed to go to Venezuela, but it's in Trinidad, and many times it couldn't work. How much I spent on the tarpaulin? Thousands. I am willing to buy a boat now, to get a contract from the government now, to send them back. That is right. I'm willing to buy that big boat now. That rusty piece of boat, I'm willing to buy it from them. To transport illegal immigrants back to their country. Don't play with me, you know. I'm here to make sure Trinidad and Tobago is safe. I'm here to make sure illegal guns off the streets. I'm here to make sure drug block closed down. I wonder if Amnesty International, they would send an open letter to Trinidad to start implementing hanging back in Trinidad. Oh, we are against that. Only against that. But only ain't against 34 million people coming in Trinidad illegally. But if it fall in the garden, water it. Viewers, we are going for a short commercial break, but stay locked on. This is Real Talk.
Get your ad on the show that matters. Real Talk with Saieed Ali. It's engaging, entertaining, and straight to the point. Real Talk brings the issues of the day to the people. It's Real Talk with Saieed Ali. It's local, regional, and international. It's Real Talk with Saieed Ali. Get your ad now. Call 1-868-237-3135 or 1-868-339-1670.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Real Talk. I'm your host, Saieed Ali. Consultant and real estate businessman.
Can't watch Real Talk on TV? Have no fear. You can also watch Real Talk on the go live on YouTube and Facebook at Real Talk with Saieed Ali on YouTube.com and TT Real Talk on Facebook.com. Don't forget to like us and share us on Facebook and subscribe to our YouTube channel and click the notification bell. Get your ad on the show that matters. Real Talk with Saieed Ali. It's engaging, entertaining, and straight to the point. Real Talk brings the issues of the day to the people. It's Real Talk with Saieed Ali. It's local, regional, and international. It's Real Talk with Saieed Ali. Get your ad now. Call 1-868-237-3135 or 1-868-339-1670.
Welcome back to Real Talk, viewers. It's sad, 1.4 million people, and this is what we're going through. This is what we are going through. Switching gears a bit, what was reported as a bomb scared earlier today at the Mount Hope Medical Science Complex turned out just to be a fire alarm pulled by a man who suffered a mental breakdown. Let's imagine that. The main building of the Eric William Medical Science Complex was evacuated moments after the alarm was pulled. So we have a mental man on the loose there. Where was the safety for these mental patients? And they're supposed to be in a room that is safe and secured because they are mentally ill. They can kill someone. And when they end up in front of the judge will send them back to what? Ward 1 again. So where was the security? Where was the security? This is my question. Who is willing to answer that? Who is willing to answer that? My camera crew was told that both father and family member who were visiting the hospital was evacuated from the main building. So they let loose a mental person in the hospital. What about if that mental man did do damages to another human being who is right in their sense? What would have taken place? What would have taken place? Who is going to answer to this? Who is going to be responsible for this? You tell me. Where was the doctors and the nurses who supposed to secure their station before leaving it? And how did this mental man get out from where he was supposed to be secured away from the public? All those are questions are left to be answered. Caller, good night.
Hi, good night, Mr. Saeed.
Go right ahead.
They should check on Mount Hope when they see our own Trinidadian women go to Mount Hope and have to line up in the corridor with pregnancy.
Yes.
And now they want to give the Venezuelan first preference. And also the dredging of the river in Caroni.
Yes.
You should go and see where the backfill go in and where they filling up the land at that Bailey Bridge in St. Helena there. Go and see where that stockpile is, and the back of the stockpile where all the dirt going. Thank you. Good night.
Leave your number with my crew. Thank you, my friend. Who is going to answer these questions? How did he escape? We can't have mental patients running around in the hospital. The doctors and the nurses know that. Who was in charge at that point in time? Caller, good night.
Hello, good night, sir. You must remember it's a set of brainless people dealing with the public in this country. All the business about is their pension going to go high and mighty. What them care about anybody in this country? Them living like kings, they're draining the treasury, and they can't even control some Venezuelans. 2 weeks to register so much thousands of Venezuelans. Why is Cho Chong go shut him out and go and cover it with a bag or something?
Thank you, my friend. Shifting from that, viewers, a massive fire occurred earlier today in the Morvan area about 9 a.m. this morning. The residents of the house told my camera crew off camera that he was asleep when the fire happened. He was awoken to the smell of smoke and immediately called the Morvan Fire Department. What you are seeing is exclusive photos, shots of the house that was burnt in Morvan this morning. Caller, good night.
Good night, Saeed. How you going, man?
All right, go right ahead.
Saeed, this situation that is taking place in this country is the perfect example and the perfect situation for all citizens in this country to come together and show patriotism to Trinidad and Tobago. But it just goes to show that there are people in this country, no matter what, they would always support a political aspiration or a racist agenda.
Yes, true.
And no matter what, would prefer to sacrifice the country for their own gains rather than to sacrifice just a few to the benefit of the country. And this situation here just shows how divided and how illiterate this country really is and the people of the country. We are worse than Timbuktu. We are the 21st century Timbuktu right now, Trinidad and Tobago. And we have missed the opportunity to show politicians and show the world that we are a united people. But that would never happen again. This was the time and the occasion for that. And we failed. And nothing else could save this country again. Have a good night and enjoy the rest of your day.
Thank you, my friend. I want to send a special shout out to Vidya Ramdat Maharaj. Today was her birthday. She is 53 years of age, and this is coming from your loving husband. I want to send a special shout out to Mrs. Tita Babwa, who works at Scotiabank in Couva. Now, I understand that Friday will be your last day, but you are a hard worker. So a special good night to you, Miss Tita Baba, who dared me to smile that she's in love with. Good night to you. And I also want to say happy belated birthday to my good friend, Mr. Baba Steve, the original Baba Steve from Gasparillo, who is also known as Rasla Steve. I know when he used to fight at the GMPA complex with Kalitas Kalon and Abdullah the Butcher and Victor Jovica. I know him since back then. So, to my good friend, Mr. Baba Steve, happy belated birthday to you. I also want to say a special shout out to Zoraida of 786 Designers. Good night to you, my dear. You have a call? Caller, good night.
Good night, sir.
Go right ahead.
I'm trying all the time to get on to all the Venezuelan thing. Just
Go
give
right
me
ahead.
a second. I just want to ask you a question. Hello?
Yes, go right ahead. You're live.
Yeah. I want to know all the talk show hosts, everybody in the country talking about Venezuelan. And nobody, I never hear nobody say when they get the ID card, they will be able to vote.
No. They will not be able to vote because the ID card they are getting is not a national ID card of Trinidad and Tobago. It is a work permit.
All right. That's what I wanted to clarify. I ain't nobody talking about that, and I have no election coming up.
I did mention it earlier on previous shows.
I didn't hear you. All right. Thanks.
Not a problem. They will not be able to vote with it. It is just to show that you have 1 year work permit in Trinidad, and that's it. Just to make it clear for the viewers. Switching gears a bit, former politician and FIFA Vice President Jack Warner has suffered his second loss against the initiative of extradition processing proceedings against him. Jack Warner is seeking to challenge the process by which the extradition proceeding against him are being carried out. He is attempting to have the court squash the authority. You know, viewers, Jack Warner is the vice president of FIFA. And there was an alleged scandal that came up about him. He is wanted in the US and he is fighting extradition. He do not want to be extradited to the United States. This is what he is fighting. He wants to stay right here in Trinidad and deal with his matter. But if you are wanted in another state, by all means, go and face it. Go and face it. You know, sometimes this position, Vice President of FIFA worldwide, that is a very, very big and strong and powerful position because of the fact that you are worldwide. Look at this position. You are not just the president of Trinidad and Tobago. You are not just the president of Guyana. You are not just the president of Canada or the president of Europe, but you are the president of FIFA, the Football Federation, throughout the world. Throughout the world. Look how big this man is because of the position. And all sorts of scandal has arisen against him. And now he is fighting. He is fighting to remain right here in Trinidad and fight his case. When this came up, I was like, what? What? Look at the position. Telling you, not just the president of one country, you know, but FIFA. They goes worldwide. If you say yes, your yes goes worldwide. If you say no, your no goes worldwide. This is the amount of power this man had in the palm of his hand. And to know he is caught up with scandals after scandal after scandal. Boy, it's sad, you know. It's sad. But they say money does change individuals. And this is what I just tell people. I funded my own show. I don't beg for supporters. I don't beg people to advertise. My director has created a billboard just to get a break from the computer. I am spending my money, not nobody's money, my money I work for, to make sure you, the citizen, understand what is taking place in your country. To inform you, to educate you, to let you know your rights. Viewers, we are out of time for tonight. A repeat of this program is tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. Remember, I'm right here tomorrow from 7 to 8 p.m. on Synergy TV. This is Real Talk. This is Saieed Ali.